Gematria in the next stairway to 7 in the NFL, 9 Super Bowls later, after Super Bowl 45, the first Super Bowl after the New Orleans Saints won their Super Bowl title against Peyton Manning in the Indianapolis Colts. This was the 45th Super Bowl. The Pittsburgh Steelers failed to win their 7th Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers. It is New England that is going to be the next team to chase the 7th Super Bowl in the actual Super Bowl itself. That is the significance of Super Bowl 45. Now, New Orleans has the same gematria. That means that New Orleans is also going to be the next team to prevent a team from winning their 7th Super Bowl in the actual Super Bowl itself. That's why Super Bowl 45 holds a lot of significance in a really big way. When you decode this gematrically, it is Stairway to 7 that equals 63. It is Miami, Florida that has gematria of 63. You know what's interesting about the Stairway to 7? Is that 216, the cube root, is the number of the beast itself. Tom Brady is going to be in yet another Super Bowl, and it is also going to be his last Super Bowl appearance. And the thing about this Super Bowl record and this script for the Saints and Drew Brees to knock off the Patriots makes this, well, quite a lock when you break down the angle with it. Is that the Patriots have 6 wins and 5 Super Bowl losses. The Patriots will be playing in their 12th Super Bowl against the New Orleans Saints, and they would finish with a 6-6 record. As I've said before, that Tom Brady is born in the year of the snake. The snake, Tom Brady, has to lose his 6th Super Bowl before he retires, and ultimately that Super Bowl would have to occur against Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. The Patriots' 6-5 record in the Super Bowl is actually really significant when you break it down gematrically. Their 6-5 Super Bowl record, that is. I need to go to Gematrinator. There we go. And I need to reset my mouse here. But I hope that you agree with everything I've been saying so far, that Louisiana, or actually it's Florida, that has gematria of 65. That's where the Super Bowl is going to be played at this year. Now, notice something too, that the Steelers were the last team to attempt to win their 7th Super Bowl in the actual game itself. That's what the season is all about. Tom Brady and the Patriots begin their season against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the last team to pursue a stairway to 7 in the Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers. The time duration from September the 8th to February the 2nd is a time span of exactly 21 days. Notice how the Saints are named after, sacred Catholics, people who make their mark in the world and they become saints. They do world wonders. They do really heavenly things throughout their lives. It's Jesuit that equals 21 in gematria, and it is also title that has gematria of 66. That is also a reason why the Patriots are going to have a 6-6 record in the Super Bowl. And the Saints were founded in the year 66. That would be 53 years later. They would be making a comeback after seeing the league rig it against the Saints last year. 9 Super Bowls later, in Super Bowl 54, it is Drew Brees and the Saints that are going to prevent the next Stairway to 7 9 years later. That is the significance of Drew Brees' number 9. 9 years, we're going to see the Stairway to 7 occur again. The pursuit to the Stairway of 7. It doesn't mean the Stairway to 7 is actually going to happen. When you break down February the 2nd, notice that teams denying the Stairway to 7 would be 2 for 2 in their attempts. The Packers and then the New Orleans Saints, which part of that riddle involves Joe Philbin, the former Dolphins coach, now coaching the Green Bay Packers. This is why he was, well, it wasn't Joe Philbin, it was a Tennessee Titans coach, I should say, but it was heavily rumored that it might have been Joe Philbin. I think that's where their rumors came from. It also came from the fact that he was a former offensive coordinator. However, because Mike McCarthy was the head coach of that Packer team, I believe that's why he was fired right before this season. It has to do with the Stairway to 7 pursuit. I am convinced of that. There was one other thing that we had to mention here, that this was the 6th Super Bowl that was going to be hosted in the Miami Gardens area, that Tom Brady is a snake born in the year 77. So is Andrew Luck, born in the year 89. That's why the Colts were my team before Andrew Luck announced his retirement. It's pretty clear that the NFL is scripted Andrew Luck's retirement with 129 days left in the year, that we have number 12 against number 9, that Andrew Luck was born on the 12th day of the 9th month. So a really big riddle involved in this. And the Drew Brees and the Saints are going to be 2 for 2 in their Super Bowls, period. And I believe that this is a pretty clear answer of what can be derived. The Stairway to 7 occurred over at Arlington, Texas. It's Texas, that equals 69 and 15. The big news of the retirement for Andrew Luck and the Colts, and that the last Super Bowl was over at Atlanta. Rival teams don't win Super Bowls over at their rival stadium. The Seahawks lost at Glendale, the Cardinals Stadium. The Saints did not play in the Super Bowl at Atlanta. So the Patriots are not going to win the Super Bowl at Miami. But here's what makes the script very revealing for Drew Brees in the New Orleans Saints. 13 years later, once again, 13 years later from the time that he signed with the Saints, we are going to see this matchup here. New England, and then Drew Brees equaling the same Gematrias of 13, and then Brees, Brady itself. But here's the caveat here. Which other team was going to sign Drew Brees? Which other team considered it? After the Chargers refused to increase their offer, Brees met with other teams. The Saints and the Miami Dolphins, the team that is hosting the Super Bowl this year, was interested in Drew Brees. New Orleans made an offer that included $10 million in guaranteed money. So the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl 10 years later. That is the numerological meaning of $10 million. $12 million option in the second year. Tom Brady, number 12. Miami was unsure if Brees' shoulder was completely healed, and doctors suggested the team should not sign him because of the injury. The Dolphins ended negotiations and traded for Minnesota Vikings quarterback Dante Culpepper instead. Brees signed a 6-year, $60 million deal with the Saints, and now the reason why Brees signed a $60 million deal reveals the script for him to win his second Super Bowl and his first Super Bowl over at Miami, Florida. $60 million in 2006. It's Indianapolis that equals 60. That's who he beat in the Super Bowl. That is who won the first Super Bowl of Drew Brees' tenure with the Saints. And it is city of Miami that has Gematria of 60. So very clear. We know what's going to happen for this NFL season.